Hey, it's February 21st. It's the PuckHeads. We're back at Sportsbook Review, and we are all accounted for today. Nobody's out on assignment. Guys, I'm telling you right now, hockey's at that point of year for me when I have to back off, and I have no problem saying that because I don't find the edge. If anything, I'm going to tail, somebody that's hot. So, Carter, don't worry. It's not going to be you. I'm just...
Hey, 2-0 last night, both dogs.
You did, too, by the way. He did. He tweeted out both dogs. My hat is off to you. And the one, it looked like it could have maybe at the end kind of went south for you.
Yeah, could have, should have.
Could have, should have. Uh-oh, look at that confidence. All right, guys, with that being said, we got Dana Lane out in Vegas. Dana, how's everything going out there in the dreamland?
Everything's fantastic. We have a open house today at T-Mobile Arena, so I'm going to go in there and check out the Golden Knights open house. So it's going to be hockey for about 24 hours for me today.
All right. Is there any chance you're going to be able to hook up me and Carter with some jerseys since you do have the
jerseys? Wow. We went right past tickets and went to a jersey.
Oh, yeah. The tickets. The tickets is a given. We know. We just got to show up. But the jersey, we're expecting something sent down here to Costa Rica like pretty soon.
Well, the funny thing about that, guys, is we're waiting for the jerseys as well. They might not be on sale to the general public until September. They perhaps will not even be released during the expansion draft, which is going to be kind of a big party here. I think they're going to try to put a jersey on the players, but as far as being available to the general public, is probably not going to be until at least August or September.
So okay. I'll consider that a maybe that we're going to get a jersey.
Yeah, no, I think we will. But, hey, on a serious note, and I mean this, Dana, because moving forward with our show as the PuckHeads, if you have the opportunity, which I know you will, when they finally get this roster built and that team is assembled, I need you to go ahead and get something signed because the reason is we're going to have a contest for our PuckHead viewers, okay? And the winner of that contest, and, of course, we got to put the details together, will be able to win something like, a brand new team, expansion team signatures from their first roster. So if that's something you might be able to do, let's think about that because what I want to do is have all of the donations. We're going to maybe donate them to the Children's Hospital or something like that.
I'll sign your shirt for you.
Okay. No, I'm dead serious about it. So keep that in mind. And if you have an opportunity to get some of those autographs as that team gets assembled, let's think about that, all right?
That won't be a problem probably to get anybody's autograph.
Fantastic. We appreciate that. All right, let's get into it, guys. We got a pretty big slate tonight. Again, for me, I'm backing off for a minute, but I may, jump on a breakdown that sounds like it's going to be profitable. So, Dana, let's start with you. You're coming off of a 1-2 night, but you're 55% on your article picks for Sportsbook Review. So, viewers, make sure you're tuning in and checking that out as well. For me, though, this isn't the time I feel the advantage. I got a feeling you guys might because look at Carter over here went 2-0 last night with two dogs and he's flying high. He thinks he's just on top of the world. So we're going to start with you, Dana. Hit us with your first pick.
Okay, guys, first pick today, we're going to go with the Islanders minus $1.05 over the Detroit Red Wings. And this line opened at minus $1.13 at Pinnacle. It's now down to $1.05, so you're getting the best of this number. And, of course, everybody's riding high on the Detroit Red Wings because they just got through beating the Pittsburgh Penguins, giving the Penguins only their fourth regulation loss at home this season. They just got through beating the Washington Capitals, and now they take on the New York Islanders in what to me could potentially be a little bit of a letdown situation, even though they're playing at home. And the good thing about this, as far as I'm concerned, is the pros and the Joes are all over Detroit. And if I were you, I would wait a little bit because I think this number is going to go even more in our direction. And before we get too crazy about the Red Wings, just remember the Islanders are also 2 points out of that playoff spot. They have a game in hand, and that game in hand happens tonight. This is also a double revenge situation for the Islanders. And the Islanders as well, we know, has not been very good on the road this season, but let's see if the infusion of Doug Weight into that system changes that. I like the Islanders on a short price tonight, minus $1.05. Over the Red Wings.
I like the breakdown.
Good value for sure. They are one of the worst road teams.
Well, here's the thing, too. Also, let's not forget, all right, as Dana touched on, they beat Washington. They just came off that big win at Pittsburgh, right? All right, here's the thing. They're still the Detroit Red Wings, the team they've been all year. And that is why I think this is a good spot. And I don't even think it's a letdown. I think all of a sudden this team's just getting a little overvalued. I still am a big believer that this is going to be first time in many years, if I'm correct, that they're not going to make it to the playoffs. I got a feeling Islanders are going to have the edge here. I like that breakdown, buddy.
I looked at that too, but Mrazek's playing really well. So
Yeah, I know.
Good luck. I wish him luck.
But you know what, though?
That's a
But that
good-
team
it's a good
hasn't
value.
showed consistency
No,
3
but
games in a row all year against quality teams especially. So I don't think that pattern's going to change all of a sudden. I don't think there's enough spark in Detroit right now. That's just my opinion.
That's
my
a
dad. Hey,
good
my dad
breakdown.
always said opinions are like belly buttons. Hell, we all got one. So that's just my opinion on that one. So you heard it, viewers. New York Islanders minus 105 at Detroit. Take advantage of that. That might be a sharp call. Scotty, hit us with your first play.
First play tonight is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Again, final playoff spot in the East there, battling with the Islanders and the Florida Panthers and a couple other teams. Toronto at home, I know it's big juice, minus 150. I got it at. I think it's going to be a little bit higher.
Damn, buddy. Yeah.
But I like them. The last time they played was back in Winnipeg, and they actually took a 4-0 lead, and they eventually lost 5-4 in Winnipeg. Toronto did.
Toronto, yeah, I
they
remember
have a 4-0
that. I saw
lead,
that
right?
as a
Battle
fan.
of the two rookies, number 1,
and they
number
haven't
2.
played since then?
Haven't played since then. So
they've had some time to let it stew. They've had it time to get their asses chewed out, and I guarantee they've had some time on that ice doing drills they probably haven't done since the beginning of the season.
And Toronto just came off a big win in Carolina, 4-0. They shut them out on the road.
Okay, what's wrong with the puck line tonight? You just going to keep it tight?
I'm going to keep it tight. I think that I like the over 2. Keep a look at the over as well.
There was a time this year your nickname was leaning towards puck line Carter there. So
I just like the
he's
Leafs.
stumbling now, Dana. I got him stumbling.
Yeah, puck line's a good bet too. Puck line's a good bet too. Yeah.
Okay, but no, Toronto minus 150. I like that. Again, 4-0 lead. I was, as a fan, tuning in. I didn't watch the game, but I was watching on the computer back and forth, and I kept watching the other way. And I said, no, "There's no way they're going to lose this damn thing." And sure enough, they did. So that might be a really, really sharp call. Dana, what's your thoughts on Carter's breakdown with Toronto?
Well, we might as well just go into the second play from that because the second play is going to be Winnipeg and Toronto, but we're going to go to the under in that, and we would recommend going out and getting that right now because the under opened at plus 113. It's only at plus 110 now at Sports Interaction. And
what's the number at? What's the number?
6, right?
6.
Wow, that's a high number. Is it typical for these 6s to be showing up as they've been since after All-Star break?
Oh, as the season goes on, there's no doubt. I mean, we've even seen in a 6.5. The bookmakers are a lot more. They're at a much more of a level of comfort, if you will, putting out 6s this time of year now that they have a big betting pattern. They know exactly what teams are going to do, and plus on top of that. It takes a while for these bookmakers to catch up because they just simply don't sit and watch NHL hockey games. A lot of this is done statistically, and we look at this big matchup between Matthews and Laine tonight, and a lot of people think, well, that's going to be instant offense, especially when we go back and look at their first meeting, a 5-4 overtime game, which automatically for bettors most of the time means that they're going to go jump on the over. But let's also remember too that, and this probably plays into why that number's not going in the direction we'd like it to. Jacob Trouba is going to be out for 2 games after his hit on Mark Stone, and too many people think this is going to be a big hit on defense. But let's not also forget, we also forget about the guy behind him, and that's Paul Postma. And Postma's going to get a lot more playing minutes. He's going to play in, I'm assuming, inspired hockey, knowing that he's going to be relied on a lot more.
I got to break in here. Do you hockey guys, ever take time for yourselves, or is any spare time you have studying and learning these names? The guy behind him, Postma. I mean, there's nobody I know that would even know the guy ahead of him, let alone the guy behind him. That amazes me.
Ask me a college basketball player. I couldn't name one.
Well, you know what? And everybody has their angles. But, Dana said something here that I really want our viewers to catch on because at the end of the day, this show is about giving you an advantage and an edge to beat your book. Let's stay sharp. I heard it loud and clear. All right, the lines maker and the bookies do not pay attention as sharply to hockey because they don't watch it, and that means a hell of a lot. They're now just relying on stats, trends, analytics, and things of that nature. That's where somebody that's deep and literally has a foundation in hockey knowledge, all right, can let you know the edge. True. I really, really like that, and I hope those viewers right now. I hope you grab that, embrace that, and don't forget that.
And I'll tell you why you're right on that. Other than you're right, is that when most sports bettors that I know will sit there and I think like 85% of the sports picks are done within like 20 minutes of game time.
Okay.
And if you take basketball or football, anything, and you click on your bet and you click submit on your online, you see sometimes the line is changed or you want to. Hockey hardly ever happens. because the line's always fixed. I mean, they'll happen, but not
and
as much.
that right there shows you
that
the lack of movement, the lack of the changes is because it's systematically done. There's not, that's really sharp. Dana, I like that breakdown, and most importantly, I like that advantage and that edge you've just given to our viewers.
Trouba is out, and that's big Trouba for the under.
Trouba.
I like the over. I like the over.
You guys probably know what schools they went to. That's sick. That's crazy. But then again, I'm like that with other sports.
Okay, my second pick.
All right, well, I didn't even ask you, but hell, go ahead, give it to us.
My second pick is gonna. I'm taking the New Jersey Devils at home -110 over the Ottawa Senators. I'm a Sens fan. I like that team, but they got 4 forwards are out.
Yeah,
they're out for this game.
That's big, but they are a good
They're
team
a very
on the
good
road.
team.
Look at their ATS on the road. This is no fluke. And that last year, Ottawa, even though they weren't as strong of a team as in general as in whole last year they also did very well on the road. Matter of fact, better on the road than they did at home. But I didn't know about that.
Take 4 forwards out of your lineup, it's going to be a tough game. I mean, they called up some guys from the minors.
Okay.
Sure, they'll come fit in. There'll be some, enthusiasm in that lineup.
Gotcha.
But I think 4.
So what's the line sitting at for New Jersey?
-110.
-110.
Yeah.
Dana, what's your thoughts on that with 4 forwards out?
Sorry, I got it at -115. It's open at 110.
It's -115. All right. Well, hey, honesty's
I
everything,
saw
all
it at
right? And
120.
admitting you have a problem's the first thing. So I'm glad you're finally getting honest.
It'll probably go up to 120, 125.
Okay, all right. Dana, what's your thoughts on that breakdown with New Jersey facing an Ottawa team with 4 forwards that are going to be out on the road?
Well, we might as well roll into my third pick.
I love it. This is beautiful, and I promise you,
Yes.
viewers, none of this was scripted.
Look at
It
this
wasn't
synergy.
planned, and it wasn't rehearsed.
He's taking Ottawa puck line. Watch this.
I'm going to take Ottawa plus $1.10.
I love it. Head to head, baby. Here we go.
Okay, remember my
And you're
official
right,
pick
Scott.
is Detroit. I mean,
See, you're so stumbled right
Winnipeg
now.
over 6.
My
Okay,
God,
over 6,
get your ass back on
-109.
assignment, will you?
Over 6,
Okay,
109.
I love it. He's taking
I'm going
Ottawa.
head-to-head to that one, too.
All right, Ottawa plus 110. And you're going head to head with what?
Over 6.
You're going to take the over.
Yeah, over 6.
So that's going to be your third.
Yeah.
All right, we got two you got me stumbling. We got 2 head-to-heads with
He
the
called me
Puckheads.
out. He called me out,
I
basically.
love it.
had to
I
go
love
with
it. This is
Sorry,
fantastic.
Go for
Dana,
it.
how are you literally figuring your totals this time of year? Are you doing it more on emotion and momentum, or is this just typically, statistically wise, is this when it trends towards more goals because you're getting pressure for playoff positioning?
Pace of play.
Okay.
I mean, you watch as much as you possibly can, and pace of play. And I also we were talking to Scott early on, and I love what Florida is doing right now, setting 2 forecheckers on a consistent basis, putting 3 guys up at the blue line and basically daring you to beat them. I think teams like that are definitely teams that I look at to play an under. If you're only sending 1 and you're kind of sitting back a little bit, allowing teams to get deep in your zone by dumping the puck in and allowing them to make plays in the offensive zone. I mean, certainly we're looking at overs, but I saw live the other night the Kings in Florida and the Panthers did an extremely good job, or an exceptional job rather, keeping the Kings to the perimeter. The Kings had a tough time getting in the Florida Panthers zone. They absolutely had no speed, and you couple that with solid goaltending. That's a team that we're looking at to play an under
Florida
with.
looks good. Let's see the rest of the year.
Okay, I had a question. I had some of my Twitter followers that aren't normal hockey bettors, but they wanted me to ask you guys, all right, when is the expansion draft for – when are teams going to have to sacrifice guys off their roster?
Well, the expansion draft is going to be the 22nd of June.
Okay.
And Vegas has a 3-day window prior to that to be able to negotiate with free agents before any other team. So literally they could sign free agents before the expansion draft. If they do sign a free agent before the expansion draft, that is that team's pick. So every team has to lose a player. If they do sign a free agent off of a team, that is that team's basically lost player.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that being said, there was a question behind that, and again, I just push it to who the experts. You guys know this stuff. When that happens and that's all finished and established, how soon after that, my viewer wanted to know, will the futures be out, and how much will that affect futures if it's just 1 or 2 guys off of a roster?
Well, it just depends. I mean, if it's a team that's deep like the Anaheim Ducks, then it's not going to affect them very much because they're deep in defense. I mean, especially down in the minor leagues. I mean, they have guys that are ready to come up now. So it's not going to affect them very much at all. But, literally, you're probably going to lose a top defenseman, But as far as teams that are predicated on offense, it's really not going to be that big a deal for me. Look at the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, throughout their history, they've lost Malkin, they have lost Crosby, they've lost them at the same time, and they still kept on winning hockey games. It's the mid-level teams that are going to be hurt more than the top or even the bottom teams.
Okay, very well said. That's good information right there. All right, anybody else have any more
One more,
picks?
one more last one. Edmonton plus 130.
Son, you're getting out of control here. Okay, what is it?
Oilers plus 130 in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's coming back from a road trip. Oilers are sitting there waiting in the sunshine, practicing. They're going to kick that team's butt. I don't like them Tampa Bay this year.
All right. Dana, thoughts on Oilers at Tampa Bay?
I also want to just clarify something. The expansion draft will take place between June 18th and the 20th. The 21st will be the official announcement when the expansion team is ready to be made public. But as far as Edmonton is concerned, I've seen them lose their legs a little bit, and maybe regain them in the last couple games. Two teams that I'm just kind of going to stay away from because I'm not sure if they're, especially in Edmonton's case, a team that gets a bunch of shots on goal. I just need to see a little bit more consistency to mirror what they did early in the season before I jump on them.
This game, then.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, because the reason I asked it is because all the other times I asked about your games, he said, well, guess what? That's one of my plays. So I thought I could maybe pull another pick out of him. All right. Well, viewers, you heard it. Lots of good information, great breakdowns, and very, very sharp information to move forward. And that information I learned today about the bookie, all right, they don't pay attention to hockey so much. Keep that in mind and check it out. You guys, you got to keep tweeting. It's at Canuck Carter and also at Dana Lane Sports. As always, it's a pleasure to get rid of you. It's a pleasure talking with you, Dana, and the viewers out there. Thank you so much for your support. Click that like button, if you will, and throw some comments out there, good or bad. Haters, we can take it. We're all on the same team. We're trying to beat that bookie. Dana, take care of your family out there. Have a great day. Can't wait to see you again on Thursday.
All right, guys. Have a great day, and best of luck to both of you.
Are you walking home today?
I'm walking home, yeah.
All right, good. Get out of here.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.